God says, I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. They are not evil plans, but they are good plans to give you a future and hope. This is one of the most quoted scriptures in the Bible, but I just want us to take a case study to know why God said it and what was the situation at that particular time when He said it, and what can we learn from that to be encouraged and inspired so that we can trust in God more and have faith in God so that we may lead extraordinary lives and fulfill our purposes here on earth. So let's get into it. So this is Jeremiah 29 verse 11, where God says, I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. They are not evil plans, but they are good plans to give you a future and hope. And this is, I love it in the contemporary version where it says, I'll bless you with a future filled with hope, with a future filled with success. So why did God say these words, and when did He say these? So the context of the story is that the children of Israel, the Jews at that particular time, the children of Israel who were in Jerusalem, at that particular time they sinned against God. They started worshipping idols. There was prostitution in the city in Jerusalem. And then God raised Jeremiah at that particular time to warn them. So when Jeremiah was warning them, it's like his prophets were falling on deaf ears. They couldn't hear him. They couldn't listen to the prophecy, to the warnings of the Lord. And then God told Jeremiah to tell them at that particular time, the Babylonians, Nebuchadnezzar and his kingdom, they besieged Jerusalem. So they surrounded Jerusalem. They were about to attack it, to plunder it. And then in this moment now, while the king is seeking for what to do because they were surrounded, and what happens in the city was there was hunger in the city. There was no food, no water, so people were really passing out, collapsing because of hunger. Some began to even die because there is no food in the city. Now they are seeking what to do in this situation. So this is a situation. The Jews at that particular time, they are surrounded. The city of Jerusalem is surrounded by the Babylonians, and there is no food in the city. So it's either they die out of anger if they refuse to do something about it, or they find a solution. So it's at this particular time when God gives a message to Jeremiah to say, go and tell the king, go and tell the children of Israel that they should surrender. They should not fight, but they should surrender. And once they surrender, this is the message, he said, they should surrender. And once they are slaves in that city, let them build houses, let them marry and give their children in marriage so that they may multiply, they may increase. Let them also pray for the peace of the land where they shall be slaves. Because in the prosperity of the land is their prosperity. And then he also says that, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. These are not evil plans, but they are good plans to give you a future and hope. So look at the words that God uses through Jeremiah to speak to the nation of Israel. Now, why are these? Because at that particular time, the king and his people were reluctant to really submit. In fact, they didn't even submit. They were just taken captives because they refused to totally surrender. And what happened? The concern is that this is a nation. Once they surrender, they become slaves. That's the end of the nation. That is the end of the nation. So there is a concern about that. There is also fear for their lives. But God wants them to trust Him. He said, I know the plans that I have for you. They are not evil plans. Though it may seem like it's an evil thing, it's a bad thing, it's not an evil plan. It's a good plan. And He says, it's to give you a future and hope. There is an emphasis for the future and hope. So in other words, He's telling them, this is not the end of the nation. I'm giving you a future. There is still a future for this nation. Surrender. There are times where sometimes we are struggling in life, be it in business, relationships, and God will tell us to do something that may seem like the end now is just destroying everything, ruining everything at a particular time. But we have to learn to trust Him. Sometimes the business may be booming and you want to expand, and then God tells you in that particular time that, no, don't expand at this moment. cut down certain things, minimize what you are doing as a business, and you think, why should I do that? Because the business is booming. It's because God has a plan for us. The plan is not to destroy us. So we need to trust that the plans of God, because God is a good God, He's a faithful God. And he loves us. He's interested in our future. He wants us to bless us with a future filled with hope, filled with success. So when He tells us certain things that may look to be contradicting what He wants or what He has promised us, it doesn't mean He is nullifying what He has promised us. No. It means there is something He's protecting us from, or there is a strategy that He wants us to take, which we cannot see in that particular time. So He said, I know the plans that I have for you. So it is in this situation that these words that we most quote and we are encouraged by were spoken to people who were surrounded, who are about to surrender, to be captured, to become slaves. And these words of hope, this message of hope comes through Jeremiah. And this is why this verse, these words, this prophecy is so much powerful. It's because it speaks to the people who are struggling, who are in this situation. And it continued to tell the prophets that you shall be in Babylon for, I think, 70 years. After that, I'll bring you back to your own land. And it's because I want you to see the faithfulness of God. So these people, this happened, they were taken captive. Years passed, 70 years had passed. At that particular time, Daniel was praying and fasting. He understood by reading. He was reading the scrolls, the prophecies of Jeremiah. Then he found that same passage, that same message, the prophetic words. And through that, he began to fast and pray through that prophetic word. And that's how the deliverance of the children of Israel from Babylon was carried out, came to pass. Why? God was faithful and the nation was brought back to Israel. This is profound. This is profound. I love, let me conclude with this. I love what God said to Jeremiah in Jeremiah chapter 1, where He says, Jeremiah, what do you see? And he said, I see an almond tree. And God said to him, you have seen well, because I am watching my word to perform it. Friends, whatever God encourages us, whatever God instructs us to do, He's watching His word to perform it. If it looks like it contradicts with the promises He made us years ago, it's not, friend. He's watching His word to perform them. God will always fulfill His word. God is faithful. Great is the faithfulness of the Lord. Great is the faithfulness of the Lord. So learn to trust in God and in His word, because the truth of the matter is that He knows the plans that He has for us. They are not evil plans. They are good plans to give us a future and hope. Like it is said in the contemporary version, He will bless us with a future filled with hope and filled with success. That's God's intention and plan for our lives. Can we rest in these words? Can we meditate in these words throughout this week? And then we get more riches in these words, in these scriptures. Because this is powerful and profound and will give you courage, will give you hope in the moment of struggle, in the moment of pain, in the moment of hardship and challenges. These words will give you hope and inspiration to keep going. And the truth of the matter is that God indeed will come through for us. Otherwise, I pray you have found value in this video. May you kindly subscribe, hit the notification button, and share with your friends. This is Extraordinary Living with Nevers, where we talk about the purpose-driven life. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.